It's Peter Frampton, of course, performing Do You Feel Like We Do from his best-selling 1976 album, Frampton Comes Alive. The 70-year-old guitarist says the epic success of that album took him, quote, to the moon and back without a rocket, but also to the depths of despair. In his first TV interview about his new memoir, Do You Feel Like I Do, Frampton says a lifelong friendship with another rock icon helped him pull through. Peter Frampton was drawn to the guitar early. As a teenager at Bromley Technical High School in England, where his father taught art, he saw a band called the Conrads play and was mesmerized by a young musician named Dave Jones, who would become David Bowie.
I just looked up at Dad and I said, "Dad, who's that?" He said, "Oh, that's Jones. He's in my art form." I said, "Well, I'd like to be him, Dad."
Dave and Pete became friends.
He had to be friends with me because his teacher was my dad.
Frampton's career took off quickly. By 18, with the band The Herd, he had top 10 hits in the UK and made the cover of a British teen magazine.
I was made face of 68, and I hated it.
He left to join the group Humble Pie and became a sought-after session musician, playing with George Harrison and Ringo Starr. And how did you feel about that?
I loved it. Truthfully, I always see myself as the guitar player behind the singer.
In the 70s, he was slowly building a solo career when Frampton Comes Alive suddenly exploded. It would sell more than 17 million copies, then the best-selling live album ever.
Being #1 was fabulous. Being #1 in the world history, Guinness Book of Records kind of thing, scary.
Scary because you had to live up to it?
To be honest, I felt that there was no way that I was going to be able to do something anywhere near as rich.
He toured huge arenas, played before massive crowds, and was even invited to meet President Ford at the White House.
That was heady. Yeah, that's a heady experience.
How would you say you handled it emotionally?
I'm a pretty strong character, but this kind of knocked me for a loop.
You write that you anesthetized yourself.
Yeah. I had never been that much of a drinker, but I started drinking.
One night in the Bahamas in 1978, he drank too much and drove into a wall.
I fell asleep at the wheel.
How bad a shape were you in?
I had a compound fracture of my right arm, very bad one. I broke both feet, both hands, 6 ribs in my back, and then I had a cut from here to the center of my head. I was a mess, pretty much a mess, and they were worried that I was going to lose the arm. That was the thing.
Were you worried?
Oh, yeah, very.
In the book, you say that some people thought you might have been trying to kill yourself.
A psychiatrist that I saw after the accident said that. Was I? I don't think so, but he said I was.
When you're recovering, you get a phone call from a pretty special guy.
Oh, yeah, yes. So I pick up the phone and it's Stevie Wonder, you know. He said, "Peter, is it okay if I sing you a couple of songs over the phone?" I said, please go ahead. And I've never heard those songs on any one of his albums yet. So I got a very special feel better from Mr. Stevie Wonder. I love you, Stevie. Wonderful man.
But for years, Frampton struggled to regain his footing until his old friend, David Bowie, reached out.
He said, "Look, I've got this big tour coming up. Will you play guitar for me?"
Frampton would accompany Bowie on his 1987 Glass Spider tour. What did that mean to you?
David was giving me a present. What he did was he took me around the world and reintroduced me as the player. And that was the thing that really re-energized my whole life.
Bowie was also among the first to call when Frampton lost his father in 2005.
Phone rings and its mum picks it up and says, "Oh, hello, David." I go, "Oh, wow." He spoke to my mom for the longest time.
Peter Frampton.
2 years later, when Frampton won the Grammy for his instrumental album, Fingerprints, he paid tribute to his dad.
I've never worn a tie since I left school, and I wore my tie for him tonight.
I know that Grammy means a lot to you.
Thank you so much.
It gave me this confidence back, feeling that people were thinking of me as the guitar player again, finally.
Earlier this year, Frampton became a grandparent when his daughter Jade gave birth to a baby girl.
You have a new name.
They call me Frampa. I'm stuck with it.
It's such a great name. And as we've reported, Peter has been battling a degenerative muscular disorder called inclusion body myositis, IBM, that led him to go on a farewell tour last year. But he says he's doing well and trying a promising new therapy. Peter Frampton's memoir, Do You Feel Like I Do, is out tomorrow. And one of the souvenirs I love from Peter is actually this T-shirt that he's put out that says Frampton stays inside and has him in a mask. And in his shelter-in-place store has him playing the living room, the kitchen, the laundry room, and the backyard.
House Tour 2020.
House Tour.
Anthony, let's just take a minute about that piece. That's the thing about your pieces. It takes your heart and turns it and then throws it on the ground.
He's had some real moments in his life, some huge highs and some real lows.
But just the David Bowie story and to come back on the road and to the psychiatrist to say, were you trying to kill yourself? No, I don't think so. That thing of self-doubt and then coming back to that.
Yeah,
oh,
Peter has a very strong spirit, as he alluded to, which I think has gotten him through a lot. But he's had some really tough periods. He is and forever will be a phenomenal guitarist
and a rock star. Great hair back in the day.
Yes, sir.
But this thing called time catches up. But great hair.
Sure does.